Good day guys, this is Practiphile, and yes, today we're going to take a look at the Letshuoer Cadenza. So thank you so much Letshuoer for sending these beautiful earphones. I think this was released like a few months ago. A lot of reviewers have already gave the review about this. Some people like it, some people don't. Now what do I think about this? Let's find out, okay? Now let's check the objectives first. So this is the graph here of the Cadenza. Now notice how close it is to my target. See that? Right. And also, it's very close to one of my favorite IMs, the Softear Studio 4. Very close. Tonally, okay? Tonally. Do they sound the same? We're gonna find out later. So yeah, let's just talk about the overall sound of this. So it's So the overall sound of this is kind of like, it's neutral to my ears with just a little bit of sub-bass boost, and a little bit of forwardness in the treble region, but I don't even call it forwardness because it doesn't really extend much. It's in a gliding extension, which I really like. So I think this can fit with neutral. Yeah, this is pretty neutral with a little bit of, yeah, just a little bit of, I don't even say it's coloration. No, I won't go that far. But yeah, maybe it's just perfectly neutral for my taste. This is a 1DD 3BA and currently priced at $249. Maybe you can get them for sale. Yeah, a lot of IEMs are also in that price range that are really good, and I also really like. Some are expensive, some are cheaper, and let's find out. So let's talk about that sound, and I'll score it at the same time. So for tonality, as I mentioned, it's very neutral. I really like it. For my preference, it's just really sits there. I mean, look at the target says it. It's my target. It follows the curve, and it's just good. It's just good for me. It's like when you listen to it, you don't get distracted by the bass, by the mids, by the treble. You're not blown away, because that is my definition of neutral. Neutral is like something that is like colorless. It's just boring. Okay, that is my definition. So for tonality, for me, it's just an easily a 3. For the bass though, what do I think about the bass? The bass is fine. Well, bass is a little bit boosted in the sub bass, as I've mentioned. Very clean sounding, I should say. But I don't know, like I feel like the DD is not really that resolving in a way. It doesn't have that texture. It has the, you know, like it has the air of the sub bass, but doesn't really punch. I'm pretty sure it's not about the tuning, because people might say, oh, because there's no mid bass. No, the Studio 4s, it's very flat until 200 hertz, and it has bass. It has impactful bass. I mean, not at bass head levels, but you know, the DZ4 as well. It almost follows the same curve as this, and I like the bass on that. I don't know here though, maybe it's because, I know, the engineering or something, but it feels like the attack is a little bit dry, although they're not intruding, but kind of like lacking for me. So maybe for the bass, I'll give it 2.5, okay? For the mids, again, they're natural sounding, clean sounding mids, just the perfect spot for me. Vocals are good, instruments sound natural, that's it. It's 3, nothing more to say. Straightforward, it's a 3. Treble, okay, now treble has a little bit of boost. I don't know, maybe around after 8K, 9 to 10K, I guess. At first, I found it really thin, and then I realized that it actually resolves better than some IEMs. Like when you do crashes, you know, crash cymbals and even rides, there's this body to the cymbals. You don't only hear like clang clang, you know, like the cymbals as a whole has a different sounds to it depending on where you hit them. But when you hit the crash, there's this tone, like a lower tone that you can hear, and paired with, you know, the higher crash, I find it very resolving. You know, for the Cadenza 4, it was actually able to resolve, especially in the track Frailty by Urban Dub. If you're Filipino, I'm sure you know that. I find it really good. So the treble for me, although maybe some people might want more extension, but for me, it's just enough, okay? I don't think these treble sensitives are gonna find it spiky. Maybe just a little bit, but you can always, you know, change the ear tips for that. So for the treble, I'm giving it a 3. Now for the text. Now, what do you think about the text? Now, I am in 2 months about this because it actually has good proportion, you know, in the stage. It's not really that wide because again, the extension doesn't really, you know, extend much, but it has good resolution for the price. I would say it has good stage depth, not really that 3D, but close, good separation, you know, you name it. However, like even if the cymbals or like the treble is resolved well and sometimes the vocals feel natural, it didn't really give me that feeling of realism. So for me, the resolution is a little bit lacking. I'm not sure if an ESD would fix it or maybe another driver, but for me, it was just a little bit lacking for my preference. So for that, I mean, it's still good for the price though, you know, like 234. My scoring is based on its price range, okay? So for the treble, for the resolution and the text, I'm giving it 2.5. And that's a total of actually 13, which is an S. So this is an S ranker for me. I think I posted something on Facebook that together with the SO8, this is an S ranker for me. I definitely suggest you buying this if you are looking for, this can pass as a studio monitor or maybe a stage monitor if you play guitars. Drums, I don't think so. Bass, I don't think so. Yeah, maybe guitars or vocalists, they're good. Okay, so let's move on to the comparisons. Let's start with the cheapest first. We have here the Super Mix, SimGalt Super Mix. It's cheaper. This is like more fun. It has like, you notice the, you know, the added drivers, the piezo, the planars like that. It has spice to it. Spice, hell spice. All right, but yeah, let's just say the Cadenza is more mature sounding, okay? And this one is like more experimental with resolution and stuff. It follows the Harman curve. This one kinda, I think this has a higher gain. Yeah, as you can see that, you know, like almost similar, but a little bit like, you know, that energy there around 6K. You can hear that, but of course, budget-wise, if you don't have the cash, maybe the Super Mix 4 is great, but you know, just if you're looking for a reference set, like what sounds natural and what doesn't, I think the Cadenza 4 would be a good one. Next is, I have here the Chopin, right? Chopin. I really like this. Their Chopin is still cheap, around $200. Not really the same tonality because Chopin is a bit bassier. So if you're looking for like, if you want cleaner mid-range with bass, then probably the Chopin. This one here, the bass might not be enough if you're looking for fun, okay? But for me, I actually like the Chopin too. Like, it depends on your need. So if you wanna, I don't think it will be used on stage though. It doesn't seal well, it doesn't have some ergonomics, but for fun, Chopin is really good. It's very natural as well, but why am I even comparing this? Maybe because of the mid-range. They're actually very similar, and you know, the treble as well. It's just the difference is just the bass. If you want bass heavy and cheaper, then maybe the Chopin. Right, next is another S ranker for me. It's the, wow, it's the High Senior Mega 5B. Okay, this is my reference set in a way that not really like the neutral, but kind of like warm neutral around this price range. I think that this, for me, this one is better than the Apple Performer 5s in that price range. So this is my S rank here, the High Senior. I still like this set really well. This is also like kind of like a warm neutral. However, you may want a lesser bass because this one, this is engaging. So, okay, here's the thing. So if you want maybe reference with a little bit of engagement, maybe the High Senior Mega 5P. If you want like maybe cleaner mid-range with a little bit of treble sparkle, then maybe the Cadenza 4. This one still, I actually like it, High Senior. I hope I can listen to their Mega 5 ESD, but High Senior, man, like I've had this for like almost 3 years now. I really like this set. And of course, why wouldn't I compare this to the Studio 4s? Here they are. Yeah, it's the same. Basically, if you have this and you want an upgrade, the Studio 4s, there's a trend here, like, because this one here, it actually sounds very close to the DZ4. Again, like this is like an upgraded DZ4 because the DZ4 kind of like lacked the extension and the treble, and this one fixes it. Okay, with mature and clean sounding. Now, if you feel like you want more resolution, more realistic, and something you can buy the the Studio 4s. Yeah, I think that's it for my comparisons. I really think the Cadenza 4 is a win. The SO8, I kind of didn't like it a lot. I mean, it's a good planar, but at that price range, there are just too many competitions. So yeah, Cadenza 4. I have the Cadenza 12. I won't be comparing those or these because it's just they're yeah, whatever. Bye.